This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Monday, August 18th. Well, first, before I start the news, you should know the reason today's episode sounds a little different is because I'm coming to you from a roomette on the Texas Eagle heading into Dallas. That's right, I'm recording this on a train. Well, it's not as sort of audibly fun because we're currently sitting in a station, so it's impossible to tell, but I promise I'm not lying. On to our top story, and this is a hell of a top story. Exclusive podcast merger signals convergence era. Podcast Movement and Sounds Profitable are merging. Both brands will continue to exist with their original staff intact, with Brian Barletta becoming president of Podcast Movement. With the merger comes a renewed focus on getting podcasting in front of the business world, such as bringing the roving primary podcast movement event to a more permanent home in advertising hub New York City, starting 2026. In addition, Evolutions by Podcast Movement will partner with South by Southwest to continue Sounds Profitable's work of building podcasting's presence at the festival. Sounds Profitable will also continue bringing podcasting to events like Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity, the Podcast Show London, and Possible. In addition to Flynn's reporting, because I can't help myself, I'll toss in another detail for you for free. An immediate result of this merger is Podcast Movement 2025, yes, the one that starts today, has been upgraded. Every presentation and panel in Dallas this year will record both video and audio, and those recordings will be posted online for free after the event. Next up, Dentsu bets on podcasting as India's audio market matures. The global holding company is getting into the podcasting game in India. As writer Bhatia's reporting highlights, India is the third largest podcasting market in the world, behind China and the US, according to 2019 data, and that market hasn't stopped growing over the past 5 years. Monetization efforts by platforms like Pocket FM and Kabri have helped flesh out the country's premium subscription and micropayment systems. It's one thing when a podcast company diversifies into a new market, it's another entirely when a holding company decides to build an entirely new network from scratch. Business ventures like this serve as a vote of confidence both in the burgeoning podcast industry in India, as well as the power of branded audio itself. Next up, Taylor Swift's debut on Travis Kelce's New Heights podcast instantly smashes ratings records. This is a Billboard article reporting on the numbers for last week's episode of New Heights, which featured Taylor Swift casually dropping the name and album art for her upcoming 12th studio album. The YouTube version of the episode clocked 9 million views in 12 hours, while Spotify reports a 2,500% increase in average streams and a female listener spike of 618%. Pod News editor James Cridlin says this moment marks a missed opportunity for podcasting, and frankly, I concur. For better or worse, our industry does not have a habit of major platforms sharing public-facing engagement stats, which means whenever a Swiftie-sized moment like this comes along, podcasting is left out in the cold while video platforms get the lion's share of coverage by journalists, because those are the platforms where journalists can go quickly get hard numbers without sending an email. As for the rest of the news, Pod News reports on the LinkedIn Podcast Network, originally launched in 2022 under strategic partnership with iHeart.
This is your best friend Rachel. 10 o'clock in 10 minutes, the cafe car will temporarily close for my breakfast break because I'm hungry. Once again, guys, in 10 minutes, the time right now is 9:50. At 10 o'clock, the cafe car will close temporarily for my breakfast break. I will be back. I will make an announcement. Once again, guys, the cafe car will close in 10 minutes for my breakfast break. Thank you.
Rachel needs a breakfast break. Rachel's been working hard all morning, okay? Pod News reports the LinkedIn Podcast Network, originally launched in 2022 and under strategic partnership with iHeartMedia as of last year, is to shut down. Two of the network's largest podcasts, Negotiate Anything and The Anxious Achiever, have transitioned to Yap Media. With the launch of the Frequency Premium Publisher Network, the company has also rebranded from Frequency Ads to Frequency.media, reflecting the company's wider focus on tech, media, and monetization. OSHA has dropped a new free tool called OSHA Charts, which tracks a podcast ranking on Apple and Spotify, regardless of where the show is hosted. The Verge has a feature piece on former Polygon editor Chris Plant, who has moved into an independent career producing Post Games, a podcast about gaming and gaming fandom. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app with a handy dandy link to soundsprofitable.com, or you can go to soundsprofitable.com and mouse over to the download section. The download is written and produced by myself, Brian Barletta, and Tom Webster. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow, or say hi if you're in Dallas, because I'll be there.